Fox, January, Grease goes live.
Yeah!
Grease Live is
extremely fun, exciting,
rock and roll,
spunky,
fearless,
reminiscent throwback party.
It is live. Anything can happen.
Who doesn't want to see that?
Grease Live is coming January 31st
This is awesome.
on Fox.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Look at all these fans.
Hello.
Hi,
guys. You guys.
Guys, this is a really big deal. I mean, you're bringing back Grease to life, to live. Tell me how exciting this is. Let's start with you, Aaron.
I think this is really exciting. I mean, I've been a fan of the live musicals that they've done the last couple of years on television, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And I think ours is a musical comedy, which is a little different than the other ones, and they're kind of telling it and shooting it in a very different way, and we're going to have some fun on the 31st, and hopefully you do too.
So what's it like taking on an iconic role like Sandy and Danny? We have Rizzo, we have Keke here. We have the best of the best.
I mean, it's a little daunting. I mean, those are some big shoes to fill, but I mean, Olivia has been amazing. I got to meet her a couple months ago, and she kind of gave me her blessing, which was like a huge weight off of my shoulders because all I want to do is make her proud, you know. But I don't know. I mean, they're such beloved characters that I feel like it's an honor. And I mean, my 5-year-old self is like, this is a dream come true, and it's amazing. So I mean, it's a little daunting, but at the same time, we're making it our own and still respecting and honoring what they did at the beginning. So yeah.
What about you guys? Did you freak out when you found out you got the roles, and were you so excited to take on these characters?
Yeah, Grease is just the best. Like, it's just the best. It's so funny, though, because when I heard that they were doing this, my manager called me and was like, yeah, they're doing Grease. They're interested in you for Rizzo. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, not Sandy? Because I always saw myself as Sandy. Like, I was always the good girl in my mind. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Rizzo is so amazing. This is going to be so much fun. And the more that we've been doing it, the more that I'm like, this was the character I was born to play.
I agree. She's so good as Rizzo.
It's just fun. It's fun to be the bad girl.
It must be different going from like a high school musical where you were the good girl.
It's so funny. 10 years later, I'm now doing the exact opposite character. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, so it must be sort of a familiar territory, though, doing, I mean, High School Musical wasn't live, but Grease is. But you guys all kind of have a background in singing and acting, theater, dancing. So tell me what it was like to come back 10 years after High School Musical and get on with Grease Live.
I feel like I was very luckily prepped to do this because last year I did my first Broadway production, which was so much fun. But like, you learn what hard work is by doing Broadway. I think it's the toughest thing an actor can do. So by doing that, I felt like I had what it took to be able to conquer this rehearsal process and be able to hit all the right things that we have to do while trying to develop these characters and just really doing something innovative with the camera work. And I mean, it's still all a work in progress, and I'm excited to see what happens on January 31st, but we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah. And how about you, Carlos? I mean, big time rush over here. You're used to live performances. You were just on Dancing with the Stars as well, so
yeah,
you've been having a great year.
It's been a great year. No, this has been such a cool process, and working with these guys and the whole cast, like everybody is so amazing. And what's cool is that no one's ever done what we're trying to do. Like, sure, there were 2 others and they were great, but Fox was like, let's push it even further. You know, let's go above and beyond. And I think we're doing that. I mean, we're literally on the Warner Brothers lot, which is so epic to work on. And we have 2 sound stages. We have a back lot. We're shooting outdoors. We're shooting indoors. Our sets are 4-walled. We have audience members inside the sets with us. Like, it's crazy. We just had our first run through a couple days ago, and we actually got through it.
Yeah, it took
Like
about
4 hours.
5.5 hours, but you know,
Hopefully
it takes less than that on the 31st.
No, but like, you know, it's been a learning process, and I've never been a part of, you know, creating like a new Broadway show, and these 2 guys have, and I've been asking them questions like crazy, like and they said that this is pretty close to it. I mean, we're creating something brand new and fresh, and like Nessa said, it's a lot of hard work, and we're putting in the hours, and I hope it pays off on January 31st.
So for you, Aaron, I mean, a Broadway vet over here, next to normal. I mean, you were fabulous in Les Mis on screen. Tell me about bringing your Broadway background with your, TV experience and doing Grease.
Yeah, it's been really interesting so far. Like Carlos was saying, I mean, we've had a full rehearsal process as if we were getting ready for a long run on Broadway, except the fact that we have this rehearsal process and then it's for one night. But no, it's been a very similar experience to kind of being in a rehearsal studio and finding out what this is and, kind of flushing out all the different scenes and the characters. And then, we moved on stage at Warner's and it became very much like tech where we're standing in light and waiting for, in this instance, the cameras to figure out where they're going to pick us up. But it's been I've really been leaning on, that kind of, all that experience that I've had. And it's, I think, helped kind of keep me focused and, hone in on what this needs to be.
And Julianne, of course, you have dancing experience on Dancing with the Stars, then you were on the Move Live tour, you have a singing career. I mean, these people are just dynamite when I keep listing off your accolades. But tell me about your experience. What's the most, thing you're most nervous about going wrong maybe on live show?
Oh my gosh, I mean, being nervous, I think, is kind of what we all love so much about the live aspect. It's that moment like right before you go on that you get those butterflies, and that's what people like jump out of planes for. That same adrenaline. I mean, I've done that too, but like literally it's so exciting, that feeling of like, it's not a nervous like I'm petrified, I'm scared. It's like a nervous energy that just makes it that much better. I always say that, having a live audience there's nothing better than that. Like you guys sitting here right now, like we could have this conversation in the dressing room and we're giving our 100% attention, but having you guys here, it's like this extra little oomph, And so it's the same thing with like a live performance and having that live audience aspect to it too. And I think the quick changes are probably the most daunting. I think we do like the big dance, hand jive, and Danny dances with cha-cha, and I'm heartbroken, so I have to get on a golf cart and book it over to Sandy's house and then sing Hopelessly Devoted. I'm gonna be like, I can't breathe. But we practiced it the other day. I had like maybe 10 seconds to spare, so I think I'll be able to breathe for those 10 seconds. But it's amazing. I mean, and it's Grease. I mean, Grease is so fun, and I feel like it's just a part of our culture. It's sort of like kids just know who Mickey Mouse is, or Elvis Presley, or Michael Jackson. Like, people just know Grease, and I think that that's kind of the lightheartedness. We're obviously taking ourselves very seriously professionally, but we're not taking ourselves too seriously. We're having a good time and enjoying it. Aaron always says this, that like you can be on a project and then when you're done with it, look back on it and be like, that was really special. But it's interesting how like the first day we all got together, we were like, whoa, this is really special, and we're experiencing the specialness as it's happening.
I think there's something too, like what you were asking before about these being iconic characters and if we're nervous to play them or not. I mean, in a way, yes, like everyone has a familiarity with Grease, but I think that actually helps us too, because it is such a thing that people know and love, that they're going to come into it with a positive, loving outlook. They're not going to be sitting back and trying to judge it. I just think that we have that going for us also, that people are going to come to this and want to have a good time, and so hopefully that'll help what we're doing.
Well, and what's super cool for me that I just always think about is that there's so many young kids out there who don't know what Grease is. Yeah. And for me, like, I remember my first time watching Grease, and I fell in love with it. Like, this is going to be their Grease. So, like, right there's a lot of pressure on us to, make it great, because this is what they're going to go, oh, yeah, Keke, oh, yeah, Danny, Sandy, Rizzo. That's kind of a really special thing.
Oh, yeah. Woo. Vanessa, what scene are you most excited to shoot? Now you're like, do I know what scene?
And I'm like, what is he doing? I don't know. I never know what he's doing. I think the hand jive is a very exciting number, just because it's big, it's exciting. We've got Mario Lopez like hosting the dance. We have Joe Jonas's band who are going to be playing at the dance. And the dance number is so epic. It's so much fun. It's exhausting.
We have a huge ensemble and these amazing amazing ensemble dancers, and really this dance at the gym takes place like over 2 commercial breaks, and it's a whole thing. Yeah.
So it's really exciting and a lot of fun to do, and I think it's going to be super fun to watch.
And so tell me about, it is contemporary, but the costumes and the whole vibe and the era is still intact.
Yeah.
So tell me about, putting on that leather jacket and being Danny Zuko.
I mean, it was, William Ivy Long is our costume designer, and he's, done a million Broadway shows, and he's literally the best and most infectious person to be around in your life. But no, he's put together, as you can see from the pictures. I mean, it's very, very period specific, and yeah, I mean, there's something about these clothes too. I think I always think that whenever you're in a period, when you put the costume on, it kind of makes you carry yourself differently, and you can kind of feel the character immediately. I mean, I'm putting that leather jacket on the first time.
Especially the jackets.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to pick out our jackets. They brought in a rack full of leather jackets, and they were like, which one is going to be your jacket? I was like, well, this is it. Which one is it? And we're like literally, I felt like, Cinderella, right, with the slipper? Yeah. I put it on. I was like,
you look like Cinderella when you did it too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, this is it. This is great.
I'm sure Julianne felt like Cinderella too, squeezing into those black pants.
I know, it's kind of cool. I get to feel like 2 separate characters. I put on my good girl, Sandy, and I feel sweet and demure, and I've got this like kind of upright posture, and then the minute I go into bad Sandy, I'm like, whoosh, yeah. Like, I just have like the whole like posture and attitude has just changed. It's amazing. The first time I put those tight little black pants on too, so.
It's so much fun. The first time I put my wig on was at my fitting for this shoot. And I was kind of nervous because I was like, it's Rizzo. Like, I haven't read a script even. Like, I don't know how to tackle this character yet. And I put my wig on and I put my costumes on and I was like, oh, hey, Riz.
That's so true. I forgot about that. When we did this photo shoot, none of us had even read the script yet. We hadn't gotten anything, so
we didn't even know each other.
Yeah. So that goes along with what we were talking about. I mean, the way the costumes kind of inform everything. We put that on and everybody jumped right in.
Everything
I totally
changes.
forgot that.
Yeah.
Tell me about the script as we're on this subject. I mean, Grease has its moments, his little racy moments. Tell me about, your version. Do you have any...
Well, our version is very similar to the film as far as the script is concerned, but we do take elements for people that are familiar with the Broadway show. There are some numbers that aren't in the film that we feature in our show. Freddie, My Love, which is a song that Marty sings, is done in a really cool way. And also Magic Changes, which is a song from the stage version, is in our version. But they've also done really subtle script work where some things that are implied a lot in the film are now actually on our page. And I don't know, I think that something that's really cool is like Sandy's transformation, where people think, oh, she's changing for some guy. Like, I think it's much more clear that it's not necessarily about that.
Yeah, it's more, I don't know, we're all kind of figuring out who we are, right, in high school and like where we belong and discovery. And I think that she's kind of already on that path and she just has maybe more guidance. I think even for like Riz and Sandy's relationship, it's a little bit more fleshed out too, you see in our version. And you see that it's Sandy's decision to make that change on her own, and I'm not just doing it for some guy named Danny Zuko. But so I don't know. It's a little bit more of self-discovery too. So yeah.
I mean, what's that like, kind of playing high schoolers? I mean, Vanessa's really used to it.
Somehow I never age.
I was in high school many years ago. So
These are like, I always seem like they're grown up high schoolers because when I look back on Grease, I'm like, there's
our
no
director
way
Tommy Kail, who's has Hamilton right now, if you guys have ever heard of that, and In the Heights, and he's an amazing director, and he's kind of our leader in all of this. And something that he said a lot is about kind of the knowingness that we have in our generation, but then also being older and trying to think back to high school when everything was your first time, everything was life and death. When the first time you fell in love, the first time you had your heart broken, I mean, you don't know what comes after it. So everything, the stakes are so high. So that's something that he's been reiterating to us to try to, age us down a little bit to that place.
But also, we kind of are acting like we're in high school in rehearsal. Like we're just being so goofy, and we're in an environment where we can just be silly and play and have fun and be a little immature, and it's okay. And we're having fun. Like
That's Carlos all the time.
Yeah. But it's fun. I mean, we're literally like rolling around the floor when we're like slap happy after 8 hours of work. And like we're like, wait, are we really 17 right now?
I mean, you also have Carly Rae Jepsen and Keke Palmer, and this is an awesome bunch. Tell me about working with them a little bit. And they're bringing their pop, their pop attitude to the
Yeah,
set.
I mean,
I'm
they're
sure.
amazing. If you want to know what happens like on set, just follow Keke's Snapchat
Yeah, she basically
Documents
documents
the
the entire
whole thing.
process.
all day, 24/7. No,
I mean, I don't have to watch on the 31st. Sorry.
no, seriously, they're all so talented. Carly Rae has a new song in the show that they
original
wrote,
song, yeah.
an original song, and
Original song by Tom Kitt.
Yeah.
If you guys know who Tom Kitt is.
and it's awesome. Like literally, like we sat there in rehearsal. We were like hadn't heard it one time, and she goes up to sing her little song. We were like, oh my gosh,
Just like chills on
this
chills.
is amazing. Yeah,
on
it's
chills.
like to me, I feel like it's gonna be really special just having that new song, and then right after that, Boys to Men comes in, and they're just like, what's up? We're gonna sing a song, and we just heard their version, by the way.
Beauty School Dropout.
It is
Holy cow.
Crazy.
Boys to Men,
Yeah.
guys.
It's ridiculous. It's so good.
So let's kind of go down the line. Tell me what you're most excited to sing. What song?
Summer Nights. That's kind of before our first commercial break, and we recorded our album that's going to come out after the show airs, and we were recording the album the other day, and I was like, we're recording Summer Nights right now in Capitol Records. I don't know. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Very cool. How about you?
I mean, kind of the same, because first of all, the songs are still so relevant to today. I mean, it's like the guy's point of view versus the girl's point of view of what happens on their date. Like, it's so, like, it's so true. It's so different. So that's really fun. I mean, I'm excited to sing Hopelessly Devoted. But I'm really excited for you guys to hear Beauty School Dropout, though. It's so epic. Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'm gonna take one for the guys, and Grease Lightning. I mean,
It's so good.
we're so proud of it. Like they did not let us get lazy on this one. They were like, "You're gonna dance a lot and you're gonna sing a lot," and we are jumping up and down in this car. We got some really cool costume changes during the song, and it's just an epic number that I think people aren't gonna expect it to be like that live.
It's one of my favorite things to watch.
Yeah.
It's so good.
My wife saw it for the first time the other day, and she was like, "Oh my gosh!" She's like, "You guys are like really good." I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" Thanks. What's up?
I'm excited to sing Worse Things. It's such a good song, and I think that the scene that we've had written before between Rizzo and Sandy is just like the perfect setup, and
And she sounds great. Seriously.
it's fun to sing.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Did you guys get a chance to sit down with any of the original cast members?
Well, we have a couple in our production.
I saw that Dee Dee Khan, right, and Barry
Yeah,
Pearl.
Dee Dee
That's
Khan, who
awesome.
played Frenchie, and Barry Pearl, who played Duty, are in our production. Dee Dee is playing Vi, who, if you're familiar with the script, she has the scene in the diner with Frenchie. So on the night, it's going to be Frenchie and Frenchie, which is kind of an awesome
so
thing.
cool.
And then Barry plays Mr. Weaver, who introduces Vince Fontaine, and actually Vi and Mr. Weaver end up dancing together at the end. So it's like so meta thing within a thing. But no, it's really special. And Barry was at our first read through, and he was really emotional. And then when Dee Dee came, she was really emotional.
yeah.
So it's
She's
just
so
I don't know. It
cute.
puts it in perspective at how
They love
much
being
this
there.
means to people.
They love being there. Like they show up and they're like there like 30 minutes early and ready to work because like I mean
Dee Dee's-
it's such a huge part of their life, you know.
Dee Dee's so cute too. Like she is Frenchie. Like she still sounds the same. Like I close my eyes and I just see her from the movie, and she'll come over and she'll be like, "Do you want a lolly?" I'm like, well, when you ask me like that, I have to.
I know the first day she brought bubble gum
Yeah.
for everybody
Like
and just
so
passed
much
Enormous bag of bubble gum. We're like, all right, great.
She's like, it gets you in character.
So cute.
So cute.
And all those like diner scenes, I always think of Frenchie too.
Yeah.
And then the
Yes.
milkshake throw and all that. How is that
Apparently-
to film? Cool? The diner scenes?
Apparently, she said that the milkshake never got on her. Like she had to fake it every single time.
So
But
you
we
got
haven't
a job
actually-
to do. You got to get that milkshake all over
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Oh.
Right at Carly, not even at him.
No, I mean, we haven't practiced the milkshake. I don't think he's going to be too happy about that.
It's all good.
Sorry.
It's
But
all
that's
good.
actually, that scene actually, I think you're right. Like that's such a fun scene, and it's every single principal character all together at once, and there's so many different dynamics going on and the different relationships. The dynamic between Rizzo and Keke, and then Danny's trying to play it cool in front of his friends, and I mean there's so much going on that's probably one of our most difficult scenes, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be the most rewarding when it's
I think it's the only one,
Yeah.
well, besides the very end, that we're all together, too.
Yeah.
So there's just an energy to it that's really
And
fun.
the sets, like,
they're movie sets.
Yeah,
Like,
I
we're on
don't think
full movie
people are
stages.
ready for what the
No.
sets look like, because we weren't. We showed up to Warner Bros. We were like, wait, these are what we get to act in. Like this is, I mean, they're massive.
It's crazy.
It's essentially like we're doing a live movie, which is
Yeah.
the craziest thing you've ever heard, and I don't know why we're trying to do it, but we're going to try.
Well, it's crazy too how you guys rehearse. There's all these sets, there's these costumes, and it's one night, and then I'm sure you guys might be a little sad when it's
Oh my gosh,
over.
I'm going to be so
100%.
depressed.
Yeah, it'll be a
She
little
was just
sad
saying
afterwards.
that.
I'm already starting to go through it. My heart already kind of hurts.
I know, just
Because
thinking
it's
about that.
Like,
Like stunk.
days off, I actually cannot wait to come back to work and be with everyone because it's like everyone's so passionate about what we're doing, and our director Tommy has made it a point to hire very talented people, but also good people who are humble and like care about what they do and are just good people, So it's like we've been able to create these amazing relationships in front of the camera, but as well as off of the camera that like I'm going through it. I'm already like it hurts. It hurts.
Well, I was even thinking too when you were talking about Dee Dee and Barry. I mean, they shot that in 1978, is that right? And they are still
Yeah.
friends with all of the cast members. Dee Dee had me do a video, and she's like, "I'm going to send it to Olivia right now." And like, there's such a closeness, and they bonded so much in that. And I feel it's the same way here. And you guys
very
are.
special.
Everybody has like maybe an experience on set where, oh, I loved it and we became family and stuff, but like it's so true in this instance.
You guys have my email. You can email me when we're done.
I'm sure the run-throughs are probably nice too, because you do get those run-throughs and get to sort of have that feeling of rehearsals, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I want to open it up to the audience because there's tons of people here, so raise your hands.
We're going to start with a question from an online viewer. So Fanny would like to know, what do each of you have in common with your characters?
I don't know. I guess
Are John Travolta, aren't
I
you?
generally have big hair in my life, too, so I'll go with that. For better or for worse.
I actually feel a lot like Sandy. I moved back from London when I was going to school there, and I went to high school, and I went to 3 different high schools, and I was always trying to figure out where I fit in and stuff like that. And I feel like I always say I have like the halo over my head, but it's only held up by my devil horns. So I feel like I'm a mixture of bad Sandy and good Sandy. Yeah, you like that?
Keke loves his car, and I gotta say, I love my car.
You're obsessed with your car, dude.
I'm kind of
So
obsessed with
much.
it, so
That's the truest statement
there
so
you
far.
go.
I feel like in the beginning, I thought that I didn't relate to Rizzo, but the more that I've been walking in her shoes, the more that I realized I'm a lot like her. I'm a very blunt and frank person.
No.
What?
No.
So if you take away my bubbliness and my niceties, that's like Rizzo, If she doesn't like something, you're going to see it on her face. That's like me. So.
All right. Hey. Okay.
Who's next? Oh, yeah.
For Carlos and Julianne, is it weird coming from Dancing with the Stars, where you were originally someone who like judged the other constantly, and now you're basically on the same playing field?
Oh, I love being friends with her. It's great. Dancing with the Stars, I didn't really ever get to talk to her.
We weren't allowed.
It was very much separate. And then the first day she came, and I'm not sure what to expect. She runs over to me and gives me a hug, and I'm like, she's like, now we can be friends and talk. And I'm like, this is great. No, she's awesome. Awesome.
Thank you. Same thing. Like when I'm judging the show, they literally have us on opposite sides of the lot so that we can't, talk to each other or whatever. But it was so hard for me really quickly to judge because I just want to text everybody and be like, okay, so when I said that, I didn't have very long to talk. So what I really meant is da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da, and you did so great. And but I can't do that. So yeah, it's true. When I saw Carlos, I ran up to him, gave him a big hug. I was like, yay, we can be friends now.
I was like, is this allowed? This is so weird.
Hi.
Oh.
Hi.
So you guys all have experience with live shows prior, like whether like concerts, Broadway, and Dancing with the Stars. So are there any challenges, like instead of like film stuff with live shows and everything? Like anything you guys are afraid of or things that are great, whatever?
I don't know. I think the most interesting thing about something being live is that inadvertently something's going to go wrong, something's going to be different than we planned. There's going to be stuff that we haven't planned for, like when we make Carlos laugh the whole show. But those are the moments I think that are really exciting, and the things when the way that we react and the way that we deal with it on the night, it's going to create a moment and that's unexpected, and that's when like some sparks will fly. So I am really excited about that. So stuff's going to go wrong, so just deal with it. Don't worry about it.
Hi guys, I have to say I'm so excited to see the show on January 31st. So my question is for everyone. Was there something unique that you did in the audition process that you think helped you land the role of your character?
Good question.
I have no idea if this was the reason why I got it or not, but I just felt like in some of the other live event shows that we've seen, I just had a couple of things that I thought would make them, feel a little, because I do live on Dancing with the Stars and there's an audience. I remember going in to meet Tommy Kail, our director, and I said, I really feel like there should be a live audience, and maybe we should have some like score underneath, because it feels this way when you're watching it on TV versus when you're in the room with somebody. And so I don't think I got the job because of that, but I feel like we were totally on the same page and he had already thought of those things. And so we were kind of, we kind of had the same idea of what we thought Grease should be like, especially because it's fun and energetic, and you need that kind of live aspect in the room with you to create that energy. So, I said that. I don't know.
I guess it's hard for all of you to be like, I don't know. I'm so special.
Yeah,
that's
why. One thing that I did that I just makes myself happy with. There's a part in Sandy that that Danny sings where he like speaks, which is kind of a weird thing to do.
Sandy, my darling.
Yeah. And so I remember in the audition that I had in New York, and then also when I did it for my screen test for that part, I took it right down the lens, and that made them laugh. So I don't know. I keep telling them I'm gonna do it on the 31st, but they keep telling me do not do that on the 31st. But I want to do it so bad, so we'll see what happens.
Do it.
Can't fire you.
They can't fire me then.
One night only.
How about you guys? Anything unique that you did?
I don't know. I originally went in and read for Danny, and then ended up not getting it, and I was kind of like really bummed about it. And then like a couple weeks later, they called and
Sorry, man.
Hey, no, but like
I'm feeling a little bitter.
But like a couple weeks later, they called and they were like, hey, so we're thinking maybe Keke, and I was like, okay, yeah, Keke, this would be good. So then I like tried to like to me, Keke, he's cool, but like Kaneki's cool, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Kaneki's tough, man. He's a tough dude.
Yeah. So when I went in for that, I think I just played it a little cooler,
You had a chip on your shoulder.
I had a little chip on my shoulder. It was a little bit bigger, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I did.
I have no idea. I just went in there and did my best. Maybe because I had been working on my voice like every day for a while because I knew I was going to Broadway, that my voice was in really good shape. Maybe that got me the part. I don't know.
Or maybe like what you were saying before, how you're kind of like Rizzo and you're just like, whatever, I don't even care.
Yeah.
And they were like, she's got it. All right, one more question we have. Yep.
Hi, guys. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
You guys seem so funny and goofy on Snapchat. So I was wondering, do you guys pull any pranks on set?
Can't tell ya.
I tried the other day, and it did
Oh yeah,
not
it didn't work.
No.
What did you try to do?
Well, there's a line where I go,
Oh.
Tom is a great athlete. What have you ever done? And the guys were like, go up to him and be like, Tom's a great actor. What have you ever done? So I was like, Tom's a great actor. What have you ever done? And I couldn't get it out. I just started laughing.
But the guys ruined it though, because there's a moment where I walk over to Sandy at the jukebox, and I literally look over at all the guys that are sitting at the table, and they're all literally like this. Like looking at us, I was like, what the hell are they doing? And then she starts laughing, and I was like, yeah, good job, guys. Plus, that statement is just so crazy that whatever.
Oh my God, I forgot about Tom, the guy who's
Tom
trying to
is
get
Oh,
your
poor Tom.
running on the track.
Tom takes a beating in our show.
Guys, this is going to be great. I'm so excited. I'm sad it's only going to be one night, but it will be on like DVD forever. So.
Watch it forever and ever.
And the album,
Yes.
which
yeah.
by the way, I'm really excited about. 'Cause,
Yeah.
the songs are just
Amazing.
yeah.
And if you don't buy it for us, buy it for Jessie J and Boys to Men. So
Yeah, exactly. Guys, Jessie J too.
Jessie
Yeah. She's amazing.
Amazing.
This
Yeah,
is
I mean,
awesome.
like she took "Grease is the Word" and she just like
Her own.
Annihilated it.
yeah,
like she
bam.
does all the time. She's the best. Well, thank you guys for being here. We're
Thank
so
you.
excited to see
You guys are the
live
best.
on January 31st.